nation of Spain, the referees are sinking their watches, and all will kick off at exactly 19:30 Spanish time. Away we go, the penultimate weekend of the season. Two clubs who are in doomed territory back in the autumn. Barcelona in 9th position, changing their coach. Getafe down at the bottom of the table, and there they are with one game to go, both needing a single point. It's a fairly full strength Getafe team this evening. The only key man that's out is Mitrovic for Barcelona. 9 players out, but they have a lot of strength in depth. What a remarkable turnaround from this man. His 3rd spell in charge of Getafe.
But he was a bit worried by that first ball played over the top. He's back 5, squeezed up. Aubameyang looked as though he'd bent his run. That would have been a tight decision. So you've already seen they're going to try and hold a high line, try and play Barcelona's front runners offside at times. That's a dangerous ploy to play against the movement of Aubameyang, Ferran Torres and Memphis Depay.
Well, since he came in, Quique Sanchez-Flores has decided he's going to play with a 3 central defenders formation, with Damian Suarez and Oliveira streaming down the wings. Xavi Hernandez, of course, has gone back to the 4-3-3 of Barcelona, though he did experiment in midweek against Celta de Vigo for 30 minutes, and then he went back to the original formation.
There you can see Ferran Torres is playing out on the right-hand side, and Memphis Depay is going to play on the left.
There is Dani Alves. What a remarkable season he's had. He was the surprise signing in mid-season. This is his 4th start in a row. I think originally they just brought him in to try to pepper him with a few games here and there, but Sergio Roberto has been out virtually for the season.
There's the formation we were talking about. Back 5, 3 central midfield players, a front 2. But they are going to move around when they're closing the ball down. Getafe.
Getafe playing at central defender today. He's played every position in the back 4. He's been a useful man to have around. In normal times, he may well have been farmed out for a season, but they've had to dig very deep into their reserves this year. Barcelona have used more players in La Liga than any other side. 37 players in total. Another one of the teenagers, Balde, is back in the left-back position today, playing the place of Jordi Alba, 18 years of age. First time that he's seen action since the 18th of December. It doesn't look like a man, does he, Quique Sanchez-Flores, who's convinced that his team are safe, despite just needing that 1 point.
He didn't like that first run from Aubameyang, which looks like it got in behind his defensive line.
Here's Sergio Busquets, who's missed only 2 games this season. A steering wheel in the Barcelona midfield. Reminder, there are 9 games, all kicking off at the same time today. All have something riding on them, be it the outside chance of relegation, the outside chance of getting into Europe next season. Long ball over the top, and Sevilla comes to the extreme of his area.
Well, the player I think can get in, not so much Aubameyang, who was probably offside when that ball was played forward, but Memphis Depay making runs, and Ferran Torres from the right-hand side, Memphis Depay from the left-hand side, making diagonal runs to break that offside line. We've already seen Soria is all ready to play almost like a sweeper keeper. Good jump from Oliveira.
He's a Uruguayan international, he's had a very good season. Just made his debut for his country at the age of 33.
Still chance for you yet.
There he goes, Oliveira. Was 17 in the back. He's very much a front player, taking it to Barcelona. They can play with freedom today, Getafe. They've done the hard work. They've drawn the last 3 matches, enough to get them into an almost safe position.
Yeah, good driving run from the left back. Knocks Dani Alves off the ball. Getafe comes across. as you mentioned just before kickoff, big game for Mingueza.
A thunderclap from the supporters. Free header, needed Dani Alves to get in the way of the lively Oliveira.
Well, he does enough in the end, Dani Alves, but I'm not sure he was watching the ball there. He's trying to go with the run of Oliveira. I'm not sure how you defend it if you haven't got your eye on the ball.
Barcelona have only had one clean sheet in the last 8 matches that Ter Stegen has been in goal, so the theory is they've always got to outscore the opposition. They can't just nick it by a single goal. They can't rely on defence. And well, it was Enes Ünal who came flying through the air, the leading scorer.
Well, he was first to it. Gets away from his marker. Ferran Torres is the player that actually got in the way of it. That was half a chance for the centre forward, Ünal.
It's the full force of Getafe from the start, and they stand off Enes Ünal. There's one player that you're going to mark out for special attention, but the man who's been responsible for half of the goals for Getafe this season.
Longley is trying to mark him, but there's a little bunch there. Longley's got to go the other side. He's got to... Mingueza is almost in his way. He can't get to him. Not good marking by Longley. It's his own player on this occasion.
Ter Stegen looking for Aubameyang. Big chance today for Riqui Puig. Only his 3rd start of the season. Mingueza to Dani Alves. Well, these are the standings at the moment, the way things are, of course. Real Madrid are playing away at Cadiz. That league table is going to change as the evening moves on in Spain. Bolde laying it back to goalkeeper Ter Stegen. Big miss today, yet again, is Gerard Piqué. Ironically, Barcelona are playing for a place in the Spanish Super Cup, which he's taken to Saudi Arabia. Piqué is the man who did the deal.
We talked about the rigid formation. I would say they're slightly different today. Getafe, a back 5, a midfield 4, and just Ünal up front by himself. That's how they're setting up.
Ferran Torres with a little teaser. An important interception. Here is Torres. Gavi hangs it to the far post. Aubameyang lets it go. Bolde joins the party. Little step over from Bolde. Drives deep into Getafe territory. Well, the goalkeeper is sold short here. Longley decides to stick to his line and leave it to Mingueza to mop up.
Not a particularly good start by Longley. One of the players I think will be under pressure next season. Not sure how much game time he's going to get next year.
Well, he's come on in 4 of the last 5 matches, but this is only his 2nd start since December. France international, but I would imagine that he will be requesting more game time or a move in the summer. Here's Memphis Depay. Looking for Riqui Puig. It's a poor pass there. You can see the grim determination in the boys in all blue. Well, Ter Stegen slightly off his line here. Shows what he thinks about it by bringing it down on his chest.
He had that high starting position, but was well aware of what was going to happen there.
Do you know what? I've seen a few try that over the years, but nobody's ever succeeded against Ter Stegen. Other goalkeepers, yes, but talking the German.
We were doing some of the Spanish goals of the last 20 years. David Villa, one of his first goals for Valencia, beat the goalkeeper from the halfway line.
You know it's going to happen now, don't you, in this match? This is Longley. A slip rather than a foul.
Yeah, he's claiming that Suarez knocked him to the ground.
I think it'd be fair to say that Suarez has a bit of a rap sheet. He's one of the most cautioned players in the history of La Liga, the Uruguayan fullback.
Well, what he does, he sees the run, and that's the run I was talking about from Memphis Depay, starting from wide and then coming in between the wing back and the centre half. Is that attempt again? It's a good strike, but never going to beat ter Stegen.
That's a statement from the keeper, isn't it?
Certainly is. But you saw there Suarez just stepped across Memphis Depay. Was a foul, really.
Well, Celta de Vigo are leading against Elche. Denis Suarez has scored early in that game for Celta. It's one of the games where there's very little depending on it. Celta in 11th place, Elche in 14th place. Basically, they're vying for positions and a few €100,000 in final placement money. It comes down to finances, and that's important for Barcelona. Getting into the Champions League next season is worth around €50 million. That could be a player for Xavi Hernandez. And participating in the Spanish Super Cup, which means that a top 2 place is worth around €8 million as well. So they are a club that are, I'm trying to find a better word, more diplomatic word than saying they're broke. So every cent counts. Barcelona are 5 points ahead of Atletico Madrid in the standings. Atletico at home against Sevilla, 2 teams who are vying for 3rd and 4th place. But of course, if Barcelona lost the last 2 matches, Atletico won both of those, Atletico could steal 2nd. Depay begins to moat him. That is wing clipped a couple of times there, but the referee doing his best to keep the play flowing and keep a low profile. Senor Simil Manzano.
Yeah, that really was a foul by Getafe, who came out from his centre-back position and just obstructed Memphis Depay. And there you saw the problem with just playing Unal as the main striker. He's got no real pace to run in behind. Barcelona were holding a high line. The ball over the top was the right one. Unal wasn't interested.
Long from deep from Ricky Puig, but Getafe had held the line well.
Just a handball here from Ricky Puig. Controls it onto his arm. The foul came before he lost the ball here. And Getafe stepped across him.
Real Madrid are leading against Cadiz. Mariano Diaz has scored in that game, and Mallorca won. Rayo Vallecano nil after 30 minutes. Mallorca are the side who can catch Getafe. So these are the standings, because Cadiz are losing. Mallorca are leading. Mallorca move out of the bottom 3. Cadiz go down a step. This is where I'm so happy I concentrated in the math lessons as a boy. Ricky Puig. Football by numbers here from Barcelona. Balde tries to tease the ball in. There's a slip, and for once, Aubameyang doesn't react.
Yokuslu, the player that completely missed his kick here. Wasn't a good ball in from Balde. Yeah, completely misses his kick. Aubameyang can't quite get his touch right.
Real Betis are leading against Granada. Juanmi has scored for Real Betis. No goals here. This is Enes Unal, who's had 1 opportunity so far from Getafe. They've got the spare man on the outside, but it was a dig from Borja Mayoral.
And Suarez isn't particularly happy. The right pass would have been the one out wide, then Suarez could have got across into the box.
Real Betis are 5 points behind that city rival Sevilla in the standings. So significance in Pérez leading. They could take it to the final day of the season. Depay, great run from Ferran Torres. Just a step away from it, which has really been the tale of his last few weeks. He's been very close to get on the end of things, but he's going through quite a trying time.
Almost a very good pass from Depay. Coming infield, chopping it back into the space for the run of Ferran Torres, who I thought was pretty poor in that last game against Celta de Vigo, taken off at half-time.
A lively opening 15 minutes at the Estadio Alfonso Pérez. Oliveira. Carlos Alenia, former Barcelona player. Damian Suarez. Here is Alenia. He's a man with a point to prove today. Never really got a look in the Barcelona first team. Allowed to go to Villarreal. Signed for Getafe in the summer. Arambari. Nice darting run from deep. It's Mayoral who made the run.
He's played on the right-hand side of that midfield four I was talking about. On another occasion, he wants to be through the centre-forward position. That's his normal role. He's trying to make the diagonal run.
Well, Mayoral has been a great signing. They recruited him in the winter transfer window after he'd had a miserable spell at Roma. He'd only played 5 games before January and returned to the city of his birth, Madrid. And is wading with 6 vital goals as Getafe have fought to stay up. Ferran Torres teases the ball in. Important interception from Jorge Cuenca, another former Barcelona youth team player.
Yeah, that was good play from Ferran Torres. Drop of the shoulder, change of pace, change of direction. Just bending it along that 6-yard box.
Depay's corner. This is push. Dalde to Ricky Push. Ball is given away very cheaply by Clement Longley. Getafe flying forwards. How cool was that defending from the veteran Dani Alves? Little swap around in the strike. Now Aubameyang's come to the right, Depay's gone to the centre, Torres has gone to the left.
I think that's just in general play. I think they'll revert back to the other lineup.
Sensible action taken by Cuenca. Balde realises this is a big chance for him to impress the manager. He's got a deal till year 2024, but he's been recruited by the super agent Jorge Mendes, who is currently trying to negotiate a longer contract at Barcelona Football Club for the 18-year-old who's been at Barca since the age of 8. He's always played a year above himself. And here he is trying to do his best impression of Jordi Alba. He's been a constant in the team this season. This is push. Poor ball to Aubameyang.
I'm not sure the movement was quite right from Aubameyang. There wasn't the space to make the run in behind. That time he should have just backed off, opened up his body. It was the right pass from Ricky Puig on that occasion.
A draw would be convenient for both of these clubs, but I'm sure that neither are going to play for that. Barcelona, since Xavi Hernandez took over, have been unbeatable away from home. 13 games played. They've won 9, they've drawn 4, they've taken 31 of 39 points, and that is why they sit in second place, a considerable distance above Atletico Madrid. Well, at the moment, Getafe are not in that equation, because the point they would get at this given moment would take them to 39 points. Would keep them without out of catching distance of Mallorca, the only side in the bottom 5 who can catch them.
It's been a tough couple of weeks for Gavi, as expected with a player of his age. He's had a great season, but just looking a little bit leggy at the moment. Got to be careful they don't overplay him.
Well, that was the issue last year, wasn't it, with Pedri, that he played, what, 70-odd games by the time the season had finished with the national team and the Olympic team.
Well, that was the bizarre thing, that he played for the national team at the European Championships and in the Olympic side. And as a consequence, he's been injured for quite a bit of this season.
Well, that is the knock-on effect, because he's injured at the moment. That is why Gavi is having to play so many games. And no Frankie de Jong today. And Nico Gonzalez, who's had an excellent debut season, is another one who is out until the next campaign. Quarter of the game is passed. We await the first goal. Busquets. There's a lazy ball from the Barca veteran. Well, he answered the call in the middle of October when Getafe were really struggling. It took him a couple of games to get his first victory against Osasuna, which was the game before the Christmas break. And the second half of the season, they really have been a hard team to play against. They haven't lost in the last 4 matches. They've drawn the last 3. 2 scoreless draws have been enough in the last 2 home games against Real Betis and Rayo Vallecano. Memphis Depay. Ferran Torres. Interesting, there's no Dembele from the start today. Well, he's created more goals than any other player in Europe this season, 13 assists. Busquets and Aubameyang. There's something simmering under the surface, isn't there?
Once again, they hold fairly high line. Aubameyang tries to make the run in behind. On that occasion, he had timed it well, but the pass from Busquets too heavy. They did okay in the games he played earlier on in the season under Ronald Koeman. Very accomplished at left back, both defensively and on the ball.
When these sides met earlier in the season, it was when Barcelona had a real low, trying to get over the loss of Lionel Messi. They hosted Getafe and less than 20,000 turned up for the game. The supporters voting with their feet. Barca edged the game by 2-1. Last time they played here, Getafe actually won by 1-0. Mata scored the winner. They've never beaten Barcelona at home in back-to-back matches. Soria just teasing the Barca forwards, gives it to Oliveira. This is Mingueza. He's looked quite assured as a centre-back, Getafe.
Well, that's his preferred position.
Ter Stegen, back to front, Barcelona style. They do have the ability to play Route 1 football, if required.
Ter Stegen's not just playing it forward, he sees the run of Ferran Torres off this near side. It's a great strike though, isn't it? All the way from one end of the field to the other. Just couldn't get any backspin on it. There's one player in the Barcelona side that looks a little bit nervous. It is Longley. It's been a difficult season for him. I think it's fairly obvious that the manager doesn't think he's one of his normal starters. Him and Umtiti have really fallen from favour over the last couple of years or so.
It's been a comfortable start so far from Getafe. It is Gavi leaving it to Ricky Puig. Balde. Mingueza.
Game's a little flat at the moment. Just needs a moment of inspiration from somebody out there.
Alves to Busquets. Push. Balde.
Quite a good enough pass from the left back. See what he's trying to do, bend it into the space for the runs of Aubameyang and Memphis.
Now there's the calming influence at the back, just guides it to Ter Stegen. Busquets to Gavi. Dangerous ball from Gavi, from teenager to teenager. Balde. Longley. Getafe supporters in good voice. They're just happy to survive the season in top flight football. They really did look doomed back in December. Second half of the season, they've managed 41 out of 51 points. Ferran Torres giving chase is Cuenca.
Good defending Cuenca. Left-sided centre-half saw the run of Gavi. Good pace as well.
Longley. Now Balde. Mingueza. Busquets. There's Gavi, a remarkable season. It's his 33rd game of the season. Only Wayne Rooney in the top European leagues has managed to play 33 games before the age of 18. That was back in the 98-99 season. Puig digs in, outside of the foot pass to Dani Alves. Alves tiptoes along that touchline, headed on by Genet. Getafe have handled everything that Barcelona have thrown at them.
Just going to have a cooling break here. Temperature is very warm. Both sets of players having the drink.
I was just going to say it's the perfect day because there's a kind of a haze in the air. It's in the high 70s.
Yeah, it's humid though.
This must be agreed with all of the referees around the country that come the half-hour mark in a game, they're going to have a break. And these are the live scores. Athletic nil, Osasuna nil. Atletico against Sevilla 0-0. Betis 1, Granada 0. No goals. Villarreal against Real Sociedad, and Rayo Vallecano are losing against Mallorca. All around the nation of Spain, people will be working out exactly what that means. It means that Mallorca have moved out the relegation zone. Cadiz have dropped into it. Real Madrid have extended their lead at the top of the table, and Barcelona should safely hang on to second spot in La Liga. I'm hearing that Atletico Madrid have scored in their game at home against Sevilla. Right on the half-hour mark, Jose Jimenez has scored for Atletico Madrid. So that would move them on to 70 points, 2 behind Barcelona.
Yeah, confirmation of that goal, Jimenez.
That means that Barcelona need the point today to be assured of second spot, the way things stand.
The first thing you always do when you're playing against Barcelona is try and come up with a plan to stop them really dominating the game and creating chances. You have to say, Quique Sanchez Flores has done that so far. He'll be very happy with his team's defensive performance.
Extend Real Madrid's lead at the top even further, the way things stand. Getafe will be up into 14th place. Cadiz, Alaves and Levante will be the bottom 3 moving into the final weekend of the season. You know it's going to go down to the wire at the bottom end of the table.
Again, good defending from Suarez. He realised that Genet had gone short into midfield to try and pick up Ricky Puig. Depay made the right run and Suarez just went back and blocked him off.
Alenia looking lively. Made his Barcelona debut 5 years ago. Carlos Alenia, but didn't really advance. Had a spell out at Real Pérez on loan. He's the leading scorer in the B team. Oliveira kindly waiting for the match cameraman to get out of his way so he can launch it into the area. Genet has joined the attack, and has only ever scored 1 goal. Alves and Getafe. Little shimmy from Marc-Andre ter Stegen.
Well, it looked very composed. I'm not sure it was quite as composed as he made it seem. And now closing him down. All a bit too slow from Barcelona at the moment.
Getafe to Longley. Baldeck. When you think about it, this back four has never played together, and never likely to play together again. Garcia, Alba banned today. Thankfully, they didn't risk Araujo, who left the field in an ambulance in the midweek game against Celta de Vigo.
The offside, the decision, not the foul. Aubameyang coming back from an offside position. Memphis Depay just trying to flick it round the corner to him. Look how high Getafe are, that back 5. Back 3 at times, quite often a back 5. Could this be a yellow card here for Longley? Said he's not had a great start to the game.
Clumsy at best, wasn't it?
He's now got a yellow card. Just looks really low on confidence at the moment. Understandably so. When you know he's always been pushed out the club at one point.
Well, it looks like PK is going to go at least one season longer. The emergence of Araujo this season, the signing of Eric Garcia. His long-term prospects aren't particularly good, and he may have a bit of value in him as well. A player that came in from Sevilla for 35 million.
Aaron Barry over the ball here.
Aaron Barry plays it to Oliveira. It was Depay who had read the situation. Ricky Puig, not known for his physicality, giving the free kick away.
And he tried to run round Alenya. Alenya got the better of him and then had a little tug on his arm or his shirt.
That was a handful of his shorts. Can Getafe make one of these set pieces pay? Torres sticks out a boot. Comfortable save. Alenya chancing his luck from distance. Ter Stegen with an unsighted, or so a good sight of the ball.
He's probably been their best player so far, Alenya. Good striking. It starts to dip and maybe just move a bit in the air. Just 2 shots on target, both from Getafe so far.
He's just praying for a goal, Quique Sanchez-Flores. That would lift his mood. He had almost 2 years out of the game after a short second spell at Watford. He's reinvigorated this club. It was Henderson now there with a shot, who's had a brilliant season. Ingueta. Puig. Good turn from Puig. Brilliant ball as well. Depay. Which option does he take? He's got a few goals by beating the keeper at the near post this season. Gives it to Ricky Puig. And Getafe throwing up obstacles in the way. Here's a big goal. Alaves, second from bottom, have taken the lead against Levante. Already relegated, of course. They were relegated on Thursday night. In the Basque derby, Athletic Bilbao beating Osasuna Berenguer after 33 minutes. Cadiz have equalised against Real Madrid. Sobrino 8 minutes before half-time. Cadiz starting the day just above the relegation positions, 3 points ahead of Mallorca. I think I'm right in saying I'm still leading against Rayo Vallecano by a goal to nil.
Looks as though at the moment Barcelona are short on ideas how they're going to break down Getafe.
This is Ferran Torres. Excellent tackle from Oliveira. The referee's attention is drawn to misdemeanor by his assistant on this near side of the field. Getafe asking exactly why. It was not a decision made by the referee.
Well, he did catch him with that left boot, Oliveira.
The foul brought to the attention of the man in black by the man in black, Xavi Hernandez.
lot of space to bend this ball. It's somewhere in between the 6-yard box and the penalty spot.
That's exactly where Depay tries to put it, but a little too close to David Soria.
He's got a very high starting position, Soria. Here's the strike from Unal. Doesn't hit it particularly cleanly. Comfortable for Ter Stegen. And this is the one from Alenya. They're the two shots we've seen on target so far from Getafe. Probably the biggest chance was a header for Unal early on in the game from a set play.
Just studies ground. Even the consideration for the referee that will want to Alenya. Well, they're willing to shoot from any distance. They're not showing a great deal of consideration for the talents of Ter Stegen, are they?
Certainly no foul there from Dani Alves. Just a little nudge, but not enough to give a penalty.
Time we'll return to Dan Thomas and Ali Moreno in the FC studios, who will enlighten us on what is happening elsewhere. I think this is one of only 9 games taking place today in La Liga where there hasn't yet been a goal. A lot of tension in the air. Mingueza, Busquets, Longley, Aubameyang passes on to Gavi, who tries to pass it into the path of Depay, but you have 3 defenders taking care of it. Now it's Dani Alves. Only 2 defenders as they have a man down. It's Getafe who's feeling the pain.
Just for a moment there, it looked like it could be half a chance. Aubameyang could have played the ball forward first time. Instead it turned away. Played it out wide to Gavi. Could easily have been offside as well when the ball came in. Could he have played it in for Ferran Torres first time? Gavi tries to play it into a dangerous area, as you mentioned, for Depay, but good defending from 3 or 4 of the Getafe players. Getafe, the player that got the blocking. Yeah, he's taking a whack for his troubles there, the centre-back. Some applause from Xavi, but his team haven't played well enough in this first half. He's going to be the happier of the 2 coaches, Quique Sanchez Flores. You mentioned those 2 spells he had at Watford. The first one he did really well, didn't he? Brought back to try and bring Watford to the next level. And got sacked fairly quickly.
Took them to the FA Cup semi-final, got them to 13th place there. Best finishing English football since 1987. And Villarreal have taken the lead against Real Sociedad just before half-time. Coquelin has scored for Villarreal. Those are 2 teams who are fighting for 6th and 7th place, and where they may be playing their European football next season.
Looks as though Genet's recovered, just about. Again, high line, right on the edge of the 18-yard box.
Ball is dipped in, taking charge of the situation. He's Alves, and a rare slip from Ter Stegen. Well, he did lay an arm on the opponent.
Well, it's a poor piece of goalkeeping, isn't it? Dani Alves heads the ball straight up in the air. It's an easy catch for Ter Stegen. Just a bit sloppy here from the goalkeeper.
And this will be assessed by Senor Hernandez, who's our VAR today.
Well, you won't see it from that one. Obviously, the VAR happy with everything.
Well, it's Getafe who finished the first half the better of the two teams. There's an interesting stat we saw there as well, that Barcelona have conceded more fouls in this match as well.
Yeah, he tried to win a penalty, as lots of forwards do. There's not enough to give a penalty, but it's poor goalkeeping, you have to say. This is where they have looked a threat. Getafe from set plays.
And Barry spins it to the far post. Oliveira fails to keep it in play.
Just working out what he's going to say at half-time with his coaches. More of the same, I would imagine.
You've been down there on the bench, part of several management teams. Would you want to know what's happening elsewhere today, or do you just concentrate your mind solely on what's happening centre stage?
Concentrate your mind solely on what's happening here. If you need to change things because of something else that's happening elsewhere, yes, of course you'd want to know. But at the moment, they've just got to concentrate on trying to get a point here, at least.
Taken quickly as Barcelona readjust defensively. Aubameyang meant that, just cushioned it back to Ter Stegen. Ter Stegen is keen to transfer the ball from A to B quickly as well. Almost found Depay in a great position. Busquets. Push. Busquets to Dani Alves, the old guard combining. Alves teases the ball in. Cool-headed defending from Getafe.
Good ball as well from Dani Alves. Just a fraction over the head, although Ferran Torres would have been offside had he got to it. Just over the head of Aubameyang, who was onside. Genet's defended well as the right-sided centre-half in that back three.
It was offside, doesn't affect the awarding of the corner though. Just enough time for it to be taken in the 3 additional minutes of the first half. Swept into the near post, one of those headers that could go anywhere. Thankfully for Getafe, it's another corner to defend. You can see their nerves are jangling. Home supporters pleading with the referee to blow the half-time whistle. Alves, little teaser. Referee has a look at his watch and draws the first half to a conclusion. A scoreline of 0-0 at the break will be satisfactory for both managers, will be enough to give Barcelona second place with a week to spare, and Getafe to hang on to their La Liga lives. But there's still another 45 to go and a lot of equations to consider as well.